Well, the deluge of information coming out of Agatha Coven of Chaos has been a bit of fun. We know the show has started production, but we got a really interesting story the other day, not from an official source, that could imply a major first-time crossover for Marvel Studios. Let's take a couple minutes to break down the story and talk a little bit about Selena Gomez. Well, as many of you know, the Disney Plus show Agatha Coven of Chaos has been adding a bunch of people to its cast. The ensemble cast is currently in production down in Atlanta, and the other day we got a couple of first looks at the whole cast and crew doing their thing down in a mall in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, there's been a rumor that's been circulating a little bit, and although I can't verify it, it is interesting enough to talk about. I wouldn't just take this one with a grain of salt, probably a whole salt shaker, maybe a little pepper and paprika, because this one may not be true, but if it turns out to be true, it has major implications for the future of the MCU and Disney. What the current rumor is that Selena Gomez has been cast in the show in a very minor role, most likely a cameo. Now, where this cameo fits into the whole greater world of Agatha and the MCU, we'll have to wait and see, but based on Agatha's comic history, some of these new characters, I really do believe we will be leaving Westview and journeying to New Salem. Now, New Salem in the comics is the home of a lot of magic-using characters that basically live in a town controlled by witches. And this is kind of where Selena Gomez comes in. If you remember correctly, more than 10 years ago, Selena Gomez was part of a show called Wizards of Waverly Place, and this aired on the Disney Channel. The general buzz is that Selena's cameo, and it will just indeed be only a cameo, will be as her character she played on that show, Alex Russo. Now, as far as the MCU goes, this is the first time I've ever heard of any other Disney characters crossing over into the Marvel world. But it really does kind of work considering both IPs. The premise of the show was that her character, along with her brothers, Justin and Max, were three teenage wizards in training living in an apartment building in Greenwich Village, New York City. Now, it had quite the huge cast, but she was the focus of the show, and honestly, her as a cameo, even a small cameo, might actually be a bit of fun. Now, honestly, I hope she doesn't play a big part, and I don't want Marvel to go way out on a limb here. It should just be a nod to another Disney IP that uses magic, and not anything more than that. But I think the general idea would get fans pretty excited. Now, it is possible this is just a false rumor, and we want to keep it in a proper context. It is kind of way out on a limb, and not something anybody was expecting, but would be a pretty big surprise for the fan base. And considering the age demographic of that show when it was on, it aired from 2007 to 2012, most of those people are now in their mid-20s and likely fans of the MCU. Now, obviously, if this happens, we'll do a little bit of a follow-up. I think it's kind of cute, but again, I want to take it with a whole salt shaker because I don't really know if it's true or not. It's just fun.